the she's a keeper. No burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and these models it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down.
Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I feel like a boss right now. Talk to my man right now.
Oh yeah.
Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now.
Oh yeah.
Shorty oughta been my queen. Ooh, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left, yeah.
Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Dimes, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. Hold up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
No introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator. Fresh off of my hiatus.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden IT.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. Now it's Wilson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Prescott looks to throw on first. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Luke Kuechly able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen soon.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A spin, and now running right through it. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Come on now. Hey, get right there. Get right there. Get right there.
Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So still a scoreless game in the 1st, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They will go for it. Now Newton. Caught here by Griffin. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Here's Prescott. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Courtney Upshaw. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right. They weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
On first down. This is McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Third and long, it's Newton. And he finds his man Griffin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a big 32-yard play on third.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Newton now to throw. Flush to his right. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So that one a hold at the right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. On 4th down, Newton. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Gano out to kick this one away. Now it's Wilson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. This is taken at the 18. He spins free. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position. Help out your team.
Wide open receiver complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
McCaffrey on the counter. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
Well, what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. First down, Prescott. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Prescott off play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working now.
8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows.
Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach or offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Powers ahead at the 45. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a give to Miller. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. From the red zone now, Newton. Flushed out right. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. A final shot before the break. Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. In for the score. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he is into the end zone. So they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Final play of the half, Prescott. And that is incomplete. So we come upon... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's McCaffrey, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Again to Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 3rd and long for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a pickup of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th.
20. Hey.
They snap it to Newton. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you...
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Past the 20. And they do finally get him at the 12. A big run that time by Elliott. And even 50 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because...
And they drop it for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense has met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be... And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about, from the offense's perspective, what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Now Newton on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back now in Arlington. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And at a 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Panthers on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Newton now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defense.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And I do believe the offense got this back. Goodness, they did. Their own 1-yard line is where they got it back, cutting it close here.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On third down, Elliott. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game, even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hey.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
Well, if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this. One play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Prescott yet again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And he's on the heels of winning the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. He had a pair of sacks in last week's game, Charles.
So much for adjusting, so much for game planning, right? You know that he had the 2 sacks last week. Why aren't you able to block him? Sometimes the superior athlete just wins.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this is going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Hey, hey.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
20. Hey.
Here's Newton. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey.
McCaffrey. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
Defense.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Newton's going to throw it. Dancing to his left. Touchdown, Carolina.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2. Out of the gun, Newton. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And out now come the Cowboys. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep down. And got his man complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 45 yards. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. The Cowboys on third down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The strong running. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Carolina, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel of my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, how to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of views in this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex and her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us what it's in. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Dancer. Walk up in there like I got the swag. I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need to pad the walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you asking for. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Come on, look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You can be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm calling the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my sit your back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't very friends with these when I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do play on. Not gonna lie on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big bands like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's top
I got
notch.
that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault.
Hey boys, coming out of yesterday's practice, we all know it wasn't good enough.
Here we go. Limited Louis, that's light. Break from the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look like. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I think go live. When I mistake, I die. 8 ounce 250. I can't even fuck you with to prove you. If I had love, I would've tried to get Nicki, but nah. Just I can't go let you slide. No, I ain't gonna let you slide. King of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check into go. A lot of these guys was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that call. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. She is white. Louis, that's light. Straight from the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones who don't like. But you look light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like.
Ready? 180? Ready? Set. Set 180? Ready up. Set. 180? Ready up.
Man, that was pretty darn good. You know what really gets me excited? The fact that I know we can get better. You guys have so much room to improve still. That is exciting. Let's go out here and next practice, let's improve.
Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no, no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to keep the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's what ruins about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had some by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a vision, jumping in the bed with the 2 dot team, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
Ooh.